10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Look at what in my opinion, one of the best goalkeepers right now.
We need you to think that you're going to be playing for games. So they want
I'm a little bit worried for tomorrow's game. I saw a stat on
Sergio
as a big bit of a waste of stats in the road.
You cannot play at the night. That is the second. We only have two months now to do
I know people have gone on about if we lose the cup, it could be a bit of a situation. I hope to God it
Sergio
doesn't.
Productions.
Sorry guys, I'll do the next
Yo, welcome to the Blue Lounge. Welcome to the stream. How are you all doing this evening? I hope everyone is doing good. I hope everyone is having a good and pleasant evening. Welcome all to the Blue Lounge. Welcome to the stream. I'm going to start by addressing the people in the chat on the panel, and we're going to get into this match preview. I know a lot of people are eager and excited to watch the fixture tonight, Leicester versus Liverpool. Hopefully Leicester can wake up and start playing football, and it will make it a more interesting Sunday fixture between Chelsea and Liverpool. Big up to everybody in the chat. We have Elijah, we have Gabriel, we have Luke Mudway, and we have Great Time Showtime in the chat. Big up to all of you. Big up to everyone. I know a lot of you are talking about the transfer window. I've got a lot to talk about in respect to the transfer window. I will be having people coming in to talk to you guys about potential options in the transfer window within the next few days. So hopefully we will get some people who are in the know in respect to Chelsea Football Club coming in to talk to you guys. Let's say hello to the panelists. MDT, big up to you. How are you, my man?
I'm doing good, Kasim. Thanks for having us. I hope everything is okay with you and your family. You're keeping safe. Couch, the same to you, and Declare as well.
Big up. Yeah, everyone is good. We are keeping safe. But yeah, I'm hoping that we can keep the title race safe as well. So that's the main thing. Dennis the Menace, big up. How are you? How you doing?
Big up. I'm good, man. Dejected with the news about Chilwell today, but it wasn't any different from what I thought was going to happen anyhow. Club's got to show its ambition right now. It's as simple as that. So that's all I'm really focused on. Obviously, we have the Brighton game. We're going to get into that today, but they really got to help Tuchel out here. Seriously, that's just paramount right now.
Yeah, no, definitely. Sad to hear that news. With Chile be needing surgery, but to be fair, the club did say that they would make a decision. He would make a decision closer to the end of the year. I think it's the right thing to do for him. For his future, for his career. It might be a little bit tough for us this season, but I think we have time to address it, and hopefully we will address it. Declared, welcome. It's, I think this time is more practical for you, being down under. An early stream for you. How are you?
I would like to say good morning, but nothing's really practical, Mo. No time is practical for that, yeah. So, Crouch,
Welcome.
NDT. But Mo, I'm distracted by you, Mo. I don't know how long you've been, Mo. How long you've been working on that, but it looks pretty good. I've been here for a few times.
On what, sorry? Were you distracted by it? I didn't catch that.
You're Mo.
Oh! Nah, mate, this is
Mo's.
It's
Mo's.
Yeah, no, this is like a week's worth of growth. I don't have to work on that, I'm afraid. It's one of those things that just pops up, man. I go to bed, nothing, wake up in the morning and it's there in my face, man.
Looks good. It's just nice and clear. Stands out. I'm looking at it. Yeah, it's just
because
distracting.
I shaved the other bits and bobs and
that's it.
Yeah. No, unfortunately, being from Middle Eastern background and specifically Iraq, this is, it's like we come to, as babies, we have this in our face. As babies, it's one of them things, man. One of them things. Yeah, no, big up declared. Yeah, you see, the thing is, November for me is every month of the year, man. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Big up to everyone. Everyone in the chat. Everyone on the panel. Listen, guys, let's address a couple of things before we get into the nitty-gritty, as Younes would say, the nitty-gritty. Before we get into that, we have a situation that does need to be addressed in respect to Ben Chilwell. I think there's been a lot of names being brought up and being mentioned. And I want to give this a couple of minutes before we go into the preview, because there's other transfer rumours that we can talk about. But the names that have been mentioned, Theo Hernandez, Lucas Digne, as well as some of our own players in Emerson Palmieri, Ian Matson, and there's another one. I'm trying to remember. Remind me. There's a third.
Kennedy.
There's a third. Kennedy. So Kennedy is currently playing, I believe, in Brazil. He's had issues with the club. He's never been really given an opportunity with the club. So for him to come back and to be given this role may not be, something that he would like to see happen. Emerson Palmieri, another player who has been with the club for a few years now, but has never been given the opportunity to impress. He's a very talented player, as we saw in the Euros, and as we saw with the opportunities that he's been given. Matson is young, is currently playing in the Championship with Coventry. He's also a very talented player, but again, could he do the role? Could he get the job done that we require? Or should we go and look at the likes of Theo Hernandez on a potential transfer, or Lucas Digne on a potential loan? Because that's what is being spoken right now, being discussed right now. So that is one thing I want to address before we jump into this preview. Before we do that, I want to say big up to Bobby. Bobby, welcome. How are you?
Hey, hi Mo, hi. I've been multitasking here, so that's why I'm a bit late.
I know you have been. I want to see your last attempt. Let me see. Yes, it's there. Well done.
Yeah, finally.
But hey, who's this you having as your left wing back, man? I've never seen him before.
Well, you will hopefully. I mean, anyway. I'll explain when the time comes.
We'll explain. Yeah. All right. Listen, lads, you got to see this lineup that Bobby has prepared. Something special. All right.
Does Bobby's one have transfers in it?
No, not a transfer. I don't know. I mean, he's a player that I haven't seen before, and I really don't know nothing about. So I'll let Bobby, and I have a feeling MDT can also fill us in on this player as well. We'll address it when we come to it. Bobby, he hasn't done a lineup for us before, so his first one is a banger. So we'll see when we get to it. All right, before we get into the lineups and before we talk about the potential encounter, tomorrow with Brighton, I want to look at the left back position and what we've just addressed. So. Guys, let me know what option should Chelsea go for. Where do you guys stand? Recall, loan, or transfer? What shall we do? What should Chelsea do?
Can I jump in?
Go ahead. Couch, take it away. I'm just going to be off the screen for 2 seconds.
Sure. So we've been talking at this at length since Chilwell went down. I still think that the options haven't really changed. As much as I'd love to see Theo Hernandez, I don't think that that's a January buy. And, he would be an excellent long-term solution, but I don't know if, Milan are at the point where they're ready to give up on their season in January. And signing him or selling him would be a signal of that. The best situation in terms of what I see right now is a loan with an option to buy for Luka Dean, just based on the fact that, not because I think that he's, a fantastic player per se.
Sorry, Couch, I'm hearing a banging noise in the background.
This thing?
Yep, that's it.
I'm just messing around, man. It's my what is it called? ADT, something like that. ADD.
Just keep it away from your mic.
Okay.
The stress ball.
So, yeah, my stress ball. Yeah. I just think that Luka Dean just makes the most sense given the fact that he's having a fallout with his club right now. It's January. There is an option maybe to get him on loan. He's fairly young. He's on decent wages, I believe. I think he's making about 110K or whatever. So it might be something where we could engineer some sort of move there. All the other names are not very appealing to me, like our Tagliafico, Serginho Dest, not very appealing to me. You could say the same about Kennedy's had a falling out with the club, if I'm not mistaken. When they went on the Asian tour, didn't he disrespect the Asian supporters?
This was 2 or 3 years back, and since then things have been sour.
Yeah, he's not. I don't think he's an option at all. I don't think that the club have him in their thoughts, especially when you think of their corporate partners and whatnot. So potentially Emerson, but is that really a signal of intent? Like, if you recall Emerson, are you really, signaling that you want to stay in this race? Because I'm of the opinion that doesn't really, change the trajectory or, of the club. It kind of just keeps us in the same position we're in right now. But, it wouldn't be terrible. I just don't think that that's the answer. For me, it's got to be, you got to go out and, if you can, get Lucas Dean on loan. If not, maybe even purchase him at a low cost and go. But anything short of that is just a signal of intent for me with the club. If they don't go out and try and address this situation right now, then I'm going to be on Bobby's soapbox. I'm going to be like, yo, this club's directors and board have not been, making the right decisions the last little while, because it's not just the Luka Dean thing; it's the other situations that are surrounding it right now that are making me start to question what's happening at the board level and whatnot.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's a tricky one. And again, Kennedy is an option, but I think it's a far-fetched option. I think Maatsen will probably be a better option. I think Kennedy is on the back end of his career with Chelsea. I don't think he has a future with us. And while Maatsen is probably just looking for that opportunity, and this might be it for him. Emerson Palmieri, could this be the chance that he's been looking for? I'm not sure how his loan deal is working out in respect to do we need to pay a fine? Do we need to pay something to bring him back, a penalty? So it's a tricky one. Let me hear from Declared. Declared, what's your thoughts on this situation?
Well, I find that, the best way I've looked at it was I go through all the names you guys just said, and there's a lot of criteria, let me just say criteria for now, where Emerson, you just mentioned, let me just go off him. He's got an option to buy. If we call him back, that's going to ruin that. So you're going to ruin a sale, is the way I see it. I don't see Kennedy as the option. And then Lucas Dean is the EPL experience. But what's happened now is that every club knows we're desperate. They're not going to give us the best options. The best option for us is to get some loan. And what we all want is to purchase a left wing back at the end of the season, in the summer, not in January, so we can get the right person. What's going to happen in January is a desperate buy. Everton's not going to give him up easy. And then when it comes to any players as well, to take into account, this is a World Cup year. And so game time is priority. If Lucas Dean feels like he's not going to have the game time in the second half of the year, which he might be after in order to make the World Cup team, if that's what his goals are, and if he thinks he's got a chance. And that goes for any other player. So for me, I like the Madison idea. Is it Madison?
Madison.
Young here. Yeah, and just to have Alonso as prime and keep him going maybe. But if we can pull off Lucas Dean or any other left-back names that we mentioned on the cheap, so we can reassess at the end of the season what we're going to do. And if Chilwell, maybe he's not 100%, even in the off-season, or if Alonso leaves or something, like we can have a better a view of what's going on and who to go for, and a lot more options. But in January, I don't think anyone's going to give us easy options. I don't think anyone's going to give us this loan deal and, this is convenient for you. I think Everton are going to ask for a lot of money. And I think they're going to make. I think every club's going to make it difficult for us.
Okay, fair enough. Bobby, what's your thoughts on this topic, mate?
Well, this is a complex situation, as usual. In a way, you see, when people do things, and they do things for the wrong reasons, it comes back to bite you. I go back again and I revert to Michael Emenalo. For all it's worth, he would have been somebody to help us point out somebody in the left back position. I don't know much about Lucas Digne. I have to confess, I don't. I don't know if he's good enough. I don't have any faith in Marina pulling off any deals. She's going to need 6 months to even get hold of him. And if declared is right that people are going to make it difficult, well, you can forget it. I just think now we have to, if we can't buy, we have to bring back one of the loan players or promote one of the under 23s. It's as simple as that. As far as I'm concerned now, January is the last chance for Marina. I'm really onto this, and I've been building up on this. January is the last chance. She doesn't pull anything out the bag, I'm on her case even more than I am now. I think we've been hoodwinked into a load of crap at board level at Chelsea. Some people have struggled and done some good things and got hold of Tuchel. Now it's to sustain it as a progressive super club, which we are, is a huge problem. I think some of the ball has been dropped in many, many cases, not just the left wing back. Look at our defensive situation. That is a shambles if ever I've seen it. So I really don't know where we go from here, lads. We can only speculate. That's all, because we're at a club now where speculation is the only way forward. We don't have certainties. We're linked with this, that, and the other. I've lost all faith in it. I don't see us getting anybody, to be honest. Wouldn't be surprised if it just stays the same.
That would be a disaster, Bobby, if we don't get anybody. Especially with the news that Chilwell will not be returning. The onus will be on Marcos Alonso staying fit. We will start to see Azpilicueta covering that position. We may even see Malang Sarr covering that position if we don't bring in anyone externally. It would be very, very tough for us to achieve a lot of success without covering that position. It's a tough one. Let me hear from MDT. MDT, how do you think we're going to go forward on this?
Yeah, thanks for having you, Bobby. I hope all is well with yourself and the family.
Yeah, we're good, but I think that's Mo. Was it Mo or me? You were directing
Yeah,
that to?
to you,
No, it's
Bobby,
you,
to you.
you. But
Oh, MDT. Yeah, thanks very much. Thanks, brother. It's all good. Thank you.
so good. For me, I think Chelsea fans are making a big mistake with this Luka Dean hype. Luka Dean, I follow him when he was breaking into Lille when Eden Hazard was there. And he went to Barcelona, then they loaned him to Roma under Luis Enrique, and he went to PSG. He's not that good. It's just this Saul situation. He's not that good. He's an okay player. If Chelsea are the elite, we don't need players like Luka Dean. Theo Hernandez, if Chelsea want to get him, you pay 40 to 50 million, Milan will give it to you. Milan didn't make money this season. They lose money and they need money. Milan will sell Theo Hernandez and replace him cheap. They need the money. Ask anyone in Italy. They do. Have you seen Milan link with any big name players recently? No. Because of why? They don't have the money. They're on the edge of breaking the financial fair play. Everybody in Italy know if you pay 40 million euro, 40 to 50 million euro, you will get him. It's up to the Chelsea board what they want. But if they want Theo, they can get Theo this winter. For me, it's Theo.
I want to add something to this, Mo. Also, we have a very good relationship with AC Milan. We've had a lot of dealings with them over the past
Thank you very much.
12 months. So the channel is open. If you want to strike a deal, the channel is open.
And AC Milan will see it as an opportunity to come and raid even our academy more, which open all sorts of things. People don't understand that. And with Luka Dean is not better than Ian Matson going forward. Ian Matson is a way better attacking wingback than Luka Dean, not even on the same stratosphere. Slightly better than Matson defensively. He's not that great. People see his crosses from halfway, whatever, but just watch his whole game. I followed this kid since he was 16 when Joe Cole was at Lille, when Javinho and whatever. So people just watch a few Everton games or whatever. I watch him at Roma. I watch him in Barcelona. Why did you think he didn't work there? So this is the similar trajectory as Saul. Okay, you watch, maybe he had a couple of good seasons, you base it on that. If we want to compete with the top, we don't need Luka Dean. If you're going to bring Luka Dean, you better bring one of the lone players. I will take Matson over Luka Dean any day because is slightly better than him defensively. But going forward, Matson is way better than him. Matson is better, faster, is better one-on-one dribbling and everything than Luka Dean. Better everything, apart from maybe he's young, okay? Which defensively, he will improve in this team because the senior players at the back. Okay, for me, Luka Dean, if the club get him, I will support him because he's a Chelsea player. But as far as I'm concerned, I will say it again, it will be the same Saul issue. Fans will come here to say, oh, why is he not doing this? Because you didn't, whatever, you follow the hype. All it takes is one newspaper to print something. That's it. Journalists don't watch football. They do. They speculate. They don't. Especially in England, the British journalists, they don't watch football. People don't get that. They don't. They don't watch football. They don't follow football. They go and follow like people like Romano, whatever they play, and they go, oh yeah, we watch their highlights. That's the thing. Modern day people don't do research on anything. Maybe I'm boring. I follow people since they were kids. I watch football. Yeah, that's my hobby. That's what I love doing. Okay, and the other part is people keep going on left wing back. We need both wing backs. Reece James is tired. He's been playing injured since October. We need both wing backs. We don't only need one. This winter, we need both. Is either Marina call one of the lone players back for right wing back, but we don't only need left. We need right as well. Even if they get Theo Hernandez and Alonso as a backup, we still need a backup for Reece James. Aspi is not a backup for Reece James. We all know that. Okay, look at Chalobah. No. We've overplayed the kid. Okay, Rudiger is tired. Thiago Silva is tired. Aspi can hack it. People are going and said we need to win. The defense needs. We need 2 or 3 players this winter in that defense.
You know, we've got a super sticker from Stripper. Thank you, Stripper. Big up to you, Stripper. Before I acknowledge what you just said there, MDT, Bobby, Stupid doesn't like you very much because you always attack Marina, and she's a big fan. So.
No, I'm not doing gender politics. I'm off that train. I really am. I'm off that train. She's not doing it. I've said this January is her last chance. All these things, all these players, it's down to her to put out the money and get up. She either puts up or shuts up. You can do gender politics somewhere else. This isn't the place.
Yeah, no. I think it's going to be a tough window for Chelsea, and a lot is going to be resting on Marina Granovkaia's shoulders in January. And I think.
Sorry, Mo. Can I just add one thing?
Yeah, go on.
Sorry, you remember Laporte was signed in January for City because they have injured player. I think who was injured? One of their defenders. They went and bought him for 60 odd million at Atletico for Pep Guardiola. You remember that season? It was in January buy. So to say you cannot get a player for January, they're there. It's whether you want to pay for it.
Yeah.
And this is where
it's sorry, MDT. It's a premium window. And the thing is this. When I say the onus is on Marino, because right now we have had a tough start to the campaign. This is a pit stop. The January window, the best way to look at it, it's a pit stop. All right, now we can either get out of the pit with a new set of tires, some fuel in the tank, and push for that winning line to win that race, or we could keep the car going, just change the oil and whatever, and just try to battle it. I think Marina Granovkaia, Chelsea Football Club, need to address the shortcomings in our squad in January. How do they do that? Do they recall? Do they loan? Do they buy? They got to do something. They can't just leave it as it is. Okay, and if they do leave it as it is, questions will be asked. And come the summer, we will need to address for the upcoming season. But in January, this is what we need to address for this season. So we need to do something this season.
Yeah, but this is where, the last point I'm going to say, this is where, I think it's not only the board, the scouting, when they knew Chilwell went down, because this is the same injury Rudiger had, the same injury Zuma had. Some people heal early, but even when you come early from it, you're still not recovered. That's what happened with Rudiger. It's the same injury Van Dijk has, it's the same injury Leroy Sané have. You're going to lose your recovery year, which is 6 to 8 months or whatever, then the following season, you're out technically for 2 years before you become a proper player. And even that, you'll be lucky. Okay, fans don't care about that. So we're going to lose.
Sorry.
Oh, no, I think it will be the Rudiger type. Okay, maybe not Zuma, but Rudiger one. When he was out for 4 to 5 months. What I mean is similar injury, but different scale. Rudiger had the same, not as bad as Zuma. But he was out to 4 to 5 months. By the time he come back, it took him almost a year to recover properly, because you can't trust your knee to twist and turn. You have to make sure that you step in the right position before you run. Things like that. You second guess everything you do.
Mo, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. The injury is going to affect different players differently, depending on the role and depending on the abilities that they emphasize on. Ben Chilwell, he is running up and down that pitch. He is trying to sprint as well as jog. He is trying to cross, to shoot. The emphasis that he puts on his knees is different than the emphasis a centre back would need. The agility that a centre back would need. Therefore, you can look at it being taking longer, right? I'm just.
Yes, because the more intensity you run, the longer it will take you to cross your body. Even athletes that run the 100 meters, 200 meters is the same thing. When you have this injury, it change the way you even do stuff for a while. So people should forget this. It's not coming in the next year. It's not coming. Even if it comes, it's not going to be the same player. It will take him a little bit of time. So we need a proper whatever.
It's not on that level yet. Like it was more.
Okay.
I know you're talking about when someone does a really full big rupture. But he's one. He still had time to recover, and after 6 weeks when he recovered, it didn't gel properly. The ligament didn't recover properly, and that's why they decide. So it's not on that level yet. I think he'll be prime for next season. I think he'll make the end of this season, right? It's not quite the injury you're talking about. I think we're lucky he didn't get that one, because that's a full. Because if it was that one, MDT, they would know straight away, and they would have done the surgery straight away.
Declare, I'm telling you this. Yeah. Even if Chilwell come within 4 to 6 months, because of his age, he's young, you're not gonna see a Chilwell that you saw until next year January. I'm telling you this now.
No.
Next year January minimum. No, I'm telling you. What do you
want? That's this right now. Just to be careful, to clarify and declare it. They are saying that he will likely miss the start of next season as well, after he has the surgery. And so I'm not sure. Like again, like I just think that like when you're talking about ACLs and you're talking about the agility that is needed to play at this position, you got to be really careful with it. He's definitely not going to be back at the end of the season. That goes without saying. Like he will have to recuperate extensively.
Declare, my wife is a physio. This is what I'm telling you. When it comes to injury, I know that's one thing.
I've told you, I've had this 3 times, I know there's 2 variations. There's one, there's a smaller variation you can come back quicker from, and there's also the one that is extreme and you won't be back till you're out for the whole season.
Let me tell you one thing. When you play this high intensity sport, like now how they play football, you're kidding me. I'm telling you, this is not the 1970 football. They need athletes. The amount of pressure you put on your knee is totally different. That's what I'm telling you. Players getting back with this injury nowadays, go and see. You name me one player that came back, even with
I agree with you. What you have to take into account, there's different variations on this injury, which is the same reason why he didn't have the surgery straight away. Look, you brought up Van Dijk, yeah? Van Dijk was really bad, straight away surgery, right? But for Chilwell, it wasn't as bad, and there was a chance of comeback, and they waited. If it was like how you said, why would we wait so long? Did we make a mistake?
Yeah,
is that because there's a chance of recovery, and you know and it doesn't go to waste in the team. Anything that Chilwell did now to come back, right, makes his post surgery makes the knee stronger, right? So that's what they, and your wife's a physio, so she'll tell you that too, right? Because any effort you put in and strengthen beforehand pays off after surgery. So whatever Chilwell did till now is going to pay off in the recovery post surgery.
Let me tell you what she told me. Even when I called, when Chilwell had the same, you know what he told me? He said all will depend when they go in, how young and how his body react. That's the thing. Yeah. And he said, guess what? Even when the body react well, what happened? You remember Cho, that injury? He was out for only 6 months. Robin Loftus-Cheek was out for 9 months. You know why? He heals quicker than Ruben. But guess what? The healing process, although you are healed, doesn't make your muscle back. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You can heal, but you're not agile. Okay, you cannot do certain things. It doesn't matter whatever. You have to take your time. There's a process. You cannot rush the process. You can heal earlier than the other person, but doesn't mean that you can do what you were doing before. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Chilwell can be healed within 4 to 5 months.
What I'm saying is that Chilwell, and what I'm saying is Chilwell is going to heal quicker because it's not as severe, right? And he's young too, like you brought up too, right? And that means he can get back to getting strengthening for the agility and all that.
We're getting stuck here. Let me just finish my point.
MDC, I'll let you finish your point, and then we'll move on to the preview. So if you can wrap up, MDC, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah. So the last thing I was gonna say before we go into this injury thing is the scouting should have known Chilwell was injured. They should have done a list of 4 to 5 players. That should be a possibility now. If that didn't happen, then Marina should fire the scouting department and bring whatever they need to do, because they should have given her a list. That's an
assumption, though, right?
They should have been working on that.
That's an assumption, though, right? MDT.
No, that's not an assumption. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If it hasn't been done, they should be fired because they should have done that
most
already.
likely
It doesn't
most
matter
likely
what
it's
happened.
done. We're
All
pretty
right.
sure they got a list
All right.
already, yeah?
All right, we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on. This is a situation that has to be addressed. It has to be addressed. The left back position is a problematic area if we are not able to address it. Marcos Alonso is a good player. He has good attributes, but Marcos Alonso is not enough for us to continue this challenge. We need to either bring in someone better or someone to assist in that position. That's a decision for the team to make. In regards to the match tomorrow against Brighton, we did not get a press conference. So we are going to have to go on what we know from the last match and what we've seen from various sources in regards to who is available. I have asked my panelists to prepare their predicted lineups. We're going to go through them, and then we will have our predicted lineup, and then we're going to address the game as a whole. Now, I'm going to leave Bobby's smoke signals lineup to the end because he submitted it last, so we'll leave it to the end. There's another reason, but we'll just say it's because he submitted it last. The first one to submit, I believe, was MDT. Let me have a look. No, it was Couch. Couch was the first to submit. So we will look at Couch Critics lineup. Oops, where is it? Share screen. Let's have a look at what Couch Critic believes we will have facing Brighton. All right, so Couch, is it on the screen? Yeah, it's on the screen. Couch Critic believes we will have Mendy in goal with Azpilicueta, Rudiger and Christensen in the heart of defence. Reece James, Alonso, and in midfield we will have Jorginho, Kovačić. In attack, Mason Mount, Hudson-Odoi, and Lukaku. All right, Couch. Talk me through your selection.
Okay, well, at the back, I guess there's question marks about whether or not Azpilicueta could play there still. But after that 45 minutes from Chalobah, I don't think that you could just go right back into the starting lineup again because there is competition for places, and the manager has to allow for that competition to flourish. So for me, your captain has to come in there. This is just my thinking. As much as I think Chalobah has been really, really good this year and a guy that we could look forward to seeing for many years to come, just the fact that he got subbed at 45 after what I would characterize as a poor performance, you don't throw him back in there again. You basically say, okay, you're taken out of the line of fire for now. All right, you have to battle back for your position again. Azpilicueta, you haven't played for a little bit. You're our club captain. You have to give us some minutes right now. So that's the logic there for me. Obviously, Thiago Silva is injured, so Christensen comes in. Rudiger is a mainstay. Alonso, I mean, I don't know what else to say to you guys. Like this, he played well the other day, but this is we started this whole stream talking about the left wing back position and how important it is to have that position replaced. This is exactly why. Like this, you can't just run this guy into the ground. It's not even that he's not even that good, to be honest. Like he's okay. He's been adequate, but the fact that we're depending on him to play match after match after match right now and not getting the level of performances that we need match after match just hammers it home. The board have to go out and sign somebody, and I'm sorry if the option is bringing back Emerson Palmieri or bringing back Ian Maatsen and expecting us to be challenging for the title. Nah, I'm sorry, that's not good enough. Just not good enough. Jorginho, Kovačić pretty much picked themselves at this point. Kante's injured again. Reece James again.
Kante is wasn't training.
He won't be risked. He won't be risked.
Sure. Yeah.
He might make the bench, maybe needs must, but he won't be risked, especially with the pain in his knee and Liverpool coming on Sunday. I would be astounded if everything that Tuchel said the last few while about injuries and like rushing people back and like managing minutes. If he decides to put Conte back in there, knowing what the condition is with his knee injury and the pain and whatnot, so I would be astounded. But again, I've seen worse. Reece James again is a mainstay for me. Especially because Azpilicueta, I see him as starting at center back up front. There's question marks about Lukaku still. I think he gave us excellent minutes. My man of the match coming in.
Sorry, Couch, 1 second now.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a case to be made for Reece James to be dropped for this match and maybe have Callum in that position? He looks a bit fatigued. Looks a bit tired. What do you think?
I don't even know if he looks tired to me. I just think he looks a little bit jaded just because he's been playing so much. Like fatigue. Like you could actually, now that you mentioned it, you probably could play. I mean, this just seems like a substitution for me because I don't know if you want to see this for a full 90, but you could play Reece James where Azpilicueta is and then go with Pulisic at right wing back because he did give us, options there. He did look bad. Like that just seems like an all-out attacking lineup though for me if you want to try that. But that is an option. I just think that's something that you want to see happen later on in the game after you're running at tired legs and stuff like that. So it's a possibility. I don't think Reece James will be dropped at all this match. I think that he will either play right center back or he'll play right wing back. Little jaded, but I mean, we don't have a lot of options right now. Lukaku, just given what Tuchel's been talking about with minutes again, it's a potential that he won't start. But again, do you really want to see Pulisic at striker again? And even if Havertz is back in the lineup, is he ready enough to play from the start? I think if you're looking at it like that, probably Lukaku's probably the most ready to start because he's already given you 45 minutes off the bench. Whereas Havertz has been out for, more than 10 days, probably more than 10 days. And, same with Werner for that matter. So I would go with Lukaku. If he can't give you a full 90, then you give him 60 and you bring somebody else on. But again, Tuchel has mysterious ways of putting together lineups that I haven't gotten right in a long time, and I'm actually really upset about that. But let's hope that I can turn that around today. Mason Mount didn't have the greatest game last game. Actually, he was really poor. I could see Ziyech going in there, but I mean, yeah, he could. Yeah, I can see Ziyech there. And on another day, I'd probably put Ziyech there, and then Callum keeps his place because I thought that he was decent. But I don't think that there's anything you could say about Callum's performances other than the fact that he didn't score when he should have. But other than that, I think he played well and should keep his place.
Fair enough. I think Ziyech coming in is a possibility. I think Mason Mount is another one of those players that has played a lot recently, so maybe giving him some time to rest. Maybe comes on in the second half. Him and Reece James are the two players that I would like to see given a bit of rotation. All right, Cash, thank you very much. Let's have a look at the next lineup. The next lineup, I believe, is MDT. All right, here we go. Let's see what MDT has for us. All right, so MDT has Chalobah starting over Azpilicueta in that position, but he has put Azpilicueta as a right wing back. He's got Mount as well, Pulisic ahead of Callum, and Havertz ahead of Lukaku. All the other players are the same. Mo, explain your lineup for me, please.
Yeah, with the goalkeeper, we don't have a choice because we're only going to play him for a couple of games. He's going. With Rudiger, that's obviously that's normal. With Christensen as well, because Thiago, we don't know what's going on. And with Chalobah, I think he will play because that 45 minutes, your manager normally, Tuchel, when he even yanked Callum after 20 minutes, the following game, he started the game. Because if you don't do that, what you do, you just destroy a player that's played so well because they have one bad 45 minutes. Among all the Chelsea players, every one of them have had a bad half or a bad game. Even against Villa, Kova was for the 45 minutes. Kova and Saul wasn't good. Ruben, everybody. So I think he's gonna play the kid because you have to show the kid that you trust him. And Aspi will be playing because of I think he will play definitely. And but Aspi is because of Reece need a rest. Reece can't run. If you check against Villa, he wasn't even doing recovery run. Sorry, the last game is Villa, isn't it? He wasn't doing the recovery run. That's why he was moved to centre half. He wasn't doing the wing back recovery run. He just couldn't do it, and that's not because of he didn't. He couldn't. He doesn't want to do it. The body is tired. When you're tired, you're tired. You're not machine. So you could tell that's why they were overlapping us. You could always have two players, three players, because they were passing him. He couldn't do the recovery run, and that's why I think Aspi will come in. The midfield, we don't have a choice because those are the only two semi-fit players we have. Kante is not fully fit. Ruben is injured. Saul will be on the bench, and Alonso we don't have a choice. Mount will play because Tuchel always rely on him because even if he doesn't score, we rely on his work ethic. And Brighton is a high pressing team. I think Callum will not be able to play this game after playing 90 minutes. When the doctors recommend only 45, he won't be able to play this game.
He
Because,
did say he was shattered
that's
after the game. He was really
yes,
tired. Yeah, he did say that.
yeah.
Didn't catch that.
If you
Good
play
point.
in this
Good
game,
point.
yeah, if you play in this game, you're risking his health, especially coming back from whatever they had. And with Lukaku as well, he might want to play, but it's better for Chelsea for us to manage him and get him for longer period for the rest of the team than to play him when is is we all know what he can offer, but we need Lukaku to offer that in a longer run, not to give us to 2-3 games, then he's broke down for the rest of the season. Kai has been back since I think he came back a couple of days after Lukaku and Callum. He's been training, so I think Kai will not give us full 90. One of them, Kai or Lukaku, will start, but they will be sub after 45 minutes. So, but I went for Kai because Lukaku, if we're struggling, we can use his energy against Brighton in the second half than Kai, because by starting Kai, we'll know what we need in the second half. Will Lukaku coming off? Because I don't think Lukaku can do 60 minutes. I don't think so. So that's why I went for the lineup. It's not because of this is what I want. I just consider the physical conditions before
Okay.
I made the
Is
lineup.
I mean, do you think Chalobah is fully fit?
I don't think the problem here is Rudiger is fatigued. Even Alonso is fatigued, but we don't have choice. So with him playing just 45 minutes last game, he's in a better condition than Reece James, because Reece James need a rest. We need Reece James for Liverpool.
Yeah, fair
So
enough.
that's what come into my understanding.
All right, fantastic. The next lineup I have is declared. Here we go. Declared's lineup. Declared, are you there? How's your call? Is it still there?
Yep, on pace.
All right, sweet. Let's have a look at Declared's lineup. All right, so Declared has Azpilicueta in defense. He has Reece James on the right wing back, and he's playing. Oh my God, what are you doing to us, Declared? Saul Niguez is left wing back, with Hakim Ziyech on the right wing, and Callum on the left wing with Lukaku starting. All right, mate. Let's hear it. Talk us through your lineup.
Well, it's probably one of the hardest lineups to try to pull off without a press conference because I have to guess a lot of stuff. Well, Rudiger, Christensen kind of speaks for himself, Silva being out. But for me, Chalobah came off half-time, coming back from a hamstring injury. I think might have been precaution, and there might be a precaution to this next game. So I felt like he would be out, which is why I put Aspi there. I did want to replace James with someone as well, but I found it a bit hard because I think this is the game where Tuchel's going to look to rest players for the Liverpool game, and so Alonso is one of the players that has been playing a lot of games back to back, and I initially had Hudson-Odoi there with Pulisic up there. That's a possibility. I thought it might be a bit too much. Saul had a not bad game in his last game, and maybe Tuchel might reward that with some more game time. I'm not sure. I mean, that was my thinking behind it. Anything's possible, but I think Alonso has to have a rest. And Jorginho Kova in the middle. And Ziyech, it's a big possibility to come in. And I had the same doubts about Lukaku. I was thinking Havertz because Lukaku, I'm not sure, but Havertz at the same time he hasn't played as well. So I was 50-50 with that, and I think Hudson-Odoi plays whether it's wing back or front. But it was a hard lineup to try pull.
No, it's to be fair. I mean, logic will dictate that Saul Niguez should be given some game time. Would we are under this kind of schedule and this kind of stress to the squad? But I don't know. I'm gonna ask the lads about this. What do you guys think about Saul Niguez? Could he be given some playing time some more in the left wing back position? I mean, I know you guys didn't choose him, but is it a possibility?
It's a possibility if the game is secure at the half. If we're up 2-3-0 at half, then there's a possibility you might want to give him some minutes there just to give Alonso some rest till the weekend. But
not to start.
I don't know, dude. I don't know about starting it from the beginning. Though. I'm worried about that.
Declare, have you seen Ante? He will take Saul Miguel's salary wages for that week if you play him there.
I mean, there is an argument to say that Rudiger is a guy that can marshal that entire left flank on his own, but man, that's asking a lot. It's asking a lot. And to be honest, let's be real. Like Rudiger hasn't really been in the best of form the last 2 or 3 weeks. For whatever reason, he hasn't really been giving us that A1, maybe not 3 weeks, but that A1 performance on that left side. But I'm still, even beyond that, I just don't think Saul Niguez is somebody is entered my thoughts as somebody that can, start just a must-win game again, like they all are. It just doesn't enter my thoughts as somebody that can come in a must-win game right now.
Lads, in case I forget, remind me. Once we've concluded the preview, I want to talk about Christensen. I want to address his situation as well because there's some updates. So guys, make sure you stick around for the discussion in regards to Christensen and the links with Barcelona because I want to talk a bit about that. All right, declared. Thank you for your lineup. I'm going to go to the most interesting lineup potentially by Bobby. Let's have a look at what Bobby had chosen. Here, let me find it. Here it is. Okay. This is a very interesting one. And I think you've picked an injured player here, Bobby. But we'll let you explain it. Okay, so can you all see on the screen? All right, Bobby has gone with a 4 at the back formation, so playing 4-3-3. Can I see his name? What's his name? I can't see the name properly.
You want me to pronounce it?
Yes, please.
It's Tarek Ewakwe.
All right. So we've got Tarek as a left wing back. We've got Ruben Loftus-Cheek, who I think is still injured in the centre. Malang Sarr, Christensen, Azpilicueta, Mount playing as a midfielder. Bobby, let me hear this, man. I'm excited to hear your
Ruben. I wasn't sure of his injury status, so because he's injured, there's a decision to be made.
Jorginho, maybe.
Well, let me just talk about the players that are not there. Okay. Rudiger needs to rest. He has to rest. Reece James has to rest. They may be on the bench, but they shouldn't start. Lukaku, as with Dennis and MDT, and I think declared even, I can't remember. Lukaku, I would have on the bench because he needs to come on. Havertz needs to start, and Cho needs to rest. So why I've gone with this is, look, fitness at this point is everything. Brighton are fresher than we are, and we have a big energy-sapping game coming up against Liverpool. I think it's Saturday we're playing. I can't remember. Or is it Sunday? I can't remember. So
Sunday.
Now, we have to have an eye on that game. Whether you like it or not, we have to. And we have to look at things realistically. Brighton are not Liverpool. Brighton are going to give us an energetic game, and we've got to have players fit enough to meet that. So I went with this. On the Mendy, of course, in goal. The left wing back was a selection I put in there just to mainly make a statement that we need to use one of the development squad players. I got this guy, I think, from MDT. He spoke about him before because I can't profess to know that much about him, although I've heard a bit and I have seen glimpses. If we don't start giving people a chance to come in for Alonso, we're in bigger trouble. And the only option we have now is the development squad. Now, I'm going development squad because I've lost faith in anything happening in January. So the sooner we start getting these guys used to playing for the first team squad, the better. Malang Sarr, as I've said, he has to play because Rudiger will be on the bench, I believe. Christensen, well, he picks himself because there's no Thiago, and Aspi has to come in for Reece James. Now I've brought Mason Mount into midfield because I think he can do a job there. And there has been a game, especially when Ziyech is with him. I think it was even against Man City last season when they both were on the field and they did quite well. I think Mason will do a good job for us. And I think on the other side, we need to start with Kovačić. But yet again, the substitutions come in. And this might be where you get your Jorginho playing the second half, depending on how the game goes.
Bobby, if I can just cut you off for a second. You see, this formation, one of the benefits of it is if we were to have 2 8s and a 6. So if in Ruben Loftus-Cheek's position we'd had a Jorginho, then you could have both Kova and Mason Mount playing a little bit ahead of him. I mean, I like this formation. I like the 4-3-3. But I mean, are Chelsea equipped to play it well? I don't know, but there is a lot of variations that you can do with the 4-3-3.
Yeah, I mean, in a way, I did this. I mean, I don't know what Tuchel's going to do, but I did this to emphasize the need to be brave. We've not done this before. And against a team like Brighton, who will rehearse, study, and do everything playing the Chelsea they know, this sort of thing will absolutely throw them. Now, there's a case for Barkley here in place of Ruben in the centre. But for Saul Niguez, I have my doubts. Brighton have some physical midfielders. I don't know if he can live with that. I really don't. So that's my team. And of course, Pulisic, Havertz, and Ziyech will cause anybody problems on their day.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting way to look at it. I mean, if you were to put Barkley on instead of Ruben Loftus-Cheek, you could possibly play a 4-2-3-1 attack, with having the old school Frank Lampard system, with three men behind the attacker, which is something I would like to see us try with Lukaku at some point, where he would have two attackers on either side and one just behind him. But we'd have to lose the five at the back.
I just think a surprise is a good weapon in this sort of game. It would be nice to start something that Brighton are not expecting, and I think it will throw them. And if you have them on the back foot from the beginning, it could be pivotal to beating them.
Yeah, I would like to do the surprise when we are able to do it with a full-fledged or full what's the word here? Full strength attack, midfield, and I'd love to do it against Liverpool or City. Anyway, fantastic thoughts, a good insight here by Bobby. I will now go to our lineup, the Blue Lounge combined lineup. Now I've decided to go with the traditional 3-4-3 that we're using. Before we continue, does anybody think we'll use a different formation? Okay, before we continue, does anyone think we might see a variation in attack? So 1 second.
T-Mobile Express.
What do you mean by variation in attack?
Rather than having three attackers side by side, maybe a triangle with a 10 and 2 9s.
I mean, that could always be the case. That could always be the case,
So
it's just.
it
goes before you decide. Yeah, I think you should before you got to select what players before you can decide if it's going to be that kind of thing.
We don't have the personnel for two attackers because you cannot play Kai and we cannot start both Kai and Lukaku.
Well, you can definitely play. You can play Callum. You can play Callum as one of the attackers with
Pulisic Lukaku.
Callum's not playing. Callum's not playing tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't think Callum's playing. I agree.
Where's Werner?
Callum was shattered. Werner's COVID, mate. COVID.
Still. Okay. No, I would be more than surprised if we see Callum. He's not playing.
So what are we doing? 2 9s and 1 10 or 3?
You can leave it and still discuss it
all
like
right.
that.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's see. The thing is this: I actually want to start building this team from the attack moving back rather than from the goalkeeper moving up. I want to try it different this time. So, who is our striker? Who is playing as our number 9? Lukaku, Havertz. Who do you guys think?
I haven't heard because he didn't even make the bench yesterday, the last game, right?
No, he
Havertz,
didn't.
right? So
No.
he's been out for a long time. We're thinking that he could just get thrust right back in. I don't know, man. I'm saying Lukaku.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
But Lukaku has
MDT
his doubts too. I agree with Couch and then Lukaku has that little question mark as well.
In regards to Lukaku, I can see him not starting. But who would we have in his place? And I know it ain't gonna be Pulisic.
It's gonna be Pulisic.
But he can't, man. I mean, if he puts Pulisic, I'm not gonna watch that game. I'm never gonna do a review on that game, man. If it's Pulisic, seriously.
Just so we know, Havertz is just back in training today, by the way.
Is it?
Was he?
No, it wasn't.
Yeah,
no.
today.
Tuchel said he wasn't. Tuchel said he was cleared. His last press conference.
Right, but he just returned to training today. His first training session was today.
Okay, if his first training session was today, do you guys think he is fitter than Lukaku?
No, but I think Pulisic will start then.
Moyes,
Wait,
seriously,
if
think
Havertz
Pulisic is
trains
starting at
today-
9?
I'm telling you, Pulisic will start.
Pulisic.
He's in 3
Yeah.
days.
It will be Pulisic, Ziyech, and what's his name, and Mount. If Havertz returned today, Tuchel, because of Tuchel's career, was ended by injury at 24. He's very, very careful. This is the first time he's taking risk with players. He doesn't normally do that.
Even the team, but Havertz didn't get injured. He got COVID.
No, that's
he
what I
got
mean.
fake
Because
COVID?
of to come back out of COVID, you have not trained.
No, wait, hold on. Did he get COVID or he got a false negative?
No, it's
No, he has
COVID.
symptoms. It was COVID. It was symptoms. So, yeah, I think he's gonna play Ziyech, Pulisic, and Mount. And then second half, he will bring the COVID players in.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, it's possible.
I wouldn't be surprised.
It wouldn't surprise me either. It just hasn't been effective at all. So
I know.
you know, the reason why we made all those changes in the second half is because that was terrible in the first half. So I don't see. I mean, you could say fitness and whatnot, but at the same time, like if it's not working, why are you going to continually go back to something that's clearly not working?
He did it three times in a row. You remember?
It never works. It just never
I know.
works.
I agree with you, but he's obsessed with, like when somebody like him personally is experienced that, he think it's unfair on player. Tuchel has a history of, even when a player come back fit, he give them 2 weeks to be sure, because he believed that players always lie. Because he was a player, they always lie to say they're fit, they're not. So he has that habit. So right now, if he had the full squad, most of these players will not even play. Because that's the only reason why he's even playing them is because of that.
Apparently, Soon-Sapel, Vale, Simmons, and Lewis Hall trained with the first team today as well. So that's an option.
That's an option.
Or Simons, I guess his name is, sorry. So I think that we're going to see a couple of those guys on the bench. Harvey Vale, probably the most likely.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned.
I agree. They have to dip into the development squad. They have to. So you're quite right. I will see either some of them on the bench or indeed one of them start. That's why I put Iwakwe there, because I just think, we have to be brave. We've got to do something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I know we have one eye on Liverpool, but is that Liverpool game even going to be significant if we don't get all 3 points against Brighton? That's the question, right? Because for me,
sorry guys,
it's one game at a time.
Coach, I was looking at it as if we got injuries going into the month, not just Liverpool, if that makes sense.
Can you guys hear me all right?
Exactly.
You're back.
Can you guys hear me? All right, sweet. Sorry guys, I got disconnected. I had some internet issues for some reason, just bounced me out. I see I got a super chat here.
Gave you a donation to help you out for that.
Yeah. No. What it is, I can't really reveal too much, but my internet connection is really, really bad. So, Super, thank you. Always a pleasure. All right. Where were we? Striker. We're starting from the striker. Yeah. So, did you guys manage to come to a consensus on who's starting? Who's our striker?
You can flip a coin, I guess.
I just think it's Lukaku. I don't think that you can give Havertz start from the beginning, especially as his first day back in training. And obviously Werner's out. You could say Pulisic, but again, if he plays that lineup again after it's been so poor the first 3 times he's tried it, I'll have to question that. I mean, I know he's not the fittest right now, but at the same time, he did come on at 45 and give you a performance. So if there's not a reason to start him after that, I don't know, especially given the needs and musts right now.
Okay.
Yeah, we need Lukaku since we put him there.
Yeah, I guess this is where the medical team come in. They have to assess him. They have to assess his lung function, and see whether he's even fit enough to start, because he gave quite a big performance against Villa. And if that's taken too much out of him, he's not going to start. But if he's still got, some reserve and he's able to go again, then possibly he will start. But what does that mean for the next game?
Yeah,
It's a
I
tough
think
one.
we're in the
But,
dark.
I mean,
Yeah.
we are going from Wednesday to Sunday, so there's enough time to recuperate, I would say. It's not like we're playing Wednesday, Saturday. It's Wednesday, Sunday. So, you probably won't train tomorrow. You probably give them the day off and then get back into it.
Could we see something random, like for example Pulisic, Ziyech and Mount, and then Lukaku coming on at the half,
that would just be horrible.
Half time.
I think that's what will happen. I won't be surprised.
Ziyech and Mount.
Yes, and then second half he's gonna bring in Callum and what's his name and Lukaku. Yes, he's gonna hope like we play even if we 0-0 and try to change the game because not to risk. Because you know what, Couch, you know what was, if you play this COVID player and you have to do one or two substitution first half, your whole game plan change because your number of substitution you have is gone. That's why managers are scared.
No doubt. It's not easy. It's not going to be easy to make that decision. But I mean, if the decision is to risk playing a COVID player for 45 to 60 minutes, or starting with Ziyech, Mount, and Pulisic, knowing what the results are there, like just based on what we've seen in the last little while, I mean, it's a no-brainer for me. Like you could make a case for saying you can give Lukaku 60 minutes after giving him 45, more so than you can say put Pulisic back at striker based on the fact of what you saw in that role. Like he looked. Anyways, you guys know what I think about it. I don't think that.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you.
Can I just bring in another angle here, please? You see, Dennis, I think what you're missing is when somebody, apparently Lukaku had COVID quite badly. Now, COVID gives you a certain amount of lung damage. Mm-hmm. You're not talking about something that your respiratory system is normal. There's a huge amount of recovery that takes place. That's why you get people having things like extended COVID. You have people suffer fatigue for months after COVID. Now, if he had Omicron, which they're saying isn't as severe as the main COVID, fine, but it's still COVID. And the guy's an athlete. Now, I think if we see him start, then it means the medical team have okayed it. But if we don't, then Mo is quite right. We probably will see a Mount, Ziyech, Pulisic attack, whether we like it or not. For health reasons.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, if it comes down to just the medical staff is just basically making the decision that he's just not going to be able to give you anything, then that's one thing. But I mean, after that 45, I don't know how you can argue that like he wasn't up for it, And he's already been telling the manager himself that he's ready to play. The manager, his post match was basically him saying, "Yo, I've been telling this guy I've been ready to go for a while now, and he keeps telling me that I'm not ready." That's essentially what he said.
You know what it is. I'll be honest with you. I would love to see Lukaku starting tomorrow if he is fit. And if he's not fit, I want to see him not on that pitch. And, I don't want to see him being used at all. Because I want to see Lukaku being involved and being ready to face Liverpool. Because that is where I want to see Lukaku at his best. And that game ain't too far away, Sunday ain't that far away. And, tomorrow, give him a few minutes, if need be. Bring him on as an impact sub. I actually think we could see this Ziyech, Mount and Pulisic attack.
Okay.
If we were to do that, who do you guys think would be down the centre though? Would it be because I know he's tried Pulisic unsuccessfully, but that wasn't with Ziyech because when we saw Ziyech and Pulisic with Pulisic in the 9 and Ziyech just on the outside of him. They play well together. So could we see, Mount on the left, Ziyech on the right, Pulisic down the centre, or maybe Ziyech on the left, Mount on the right, and Pulisic down the centre? How do you guys see this?
I think Mount is going to be on the centre this time around.
They
Mount
did
on the
very
centre.
well in the first half against Everton. Very well. It's just they weren't putting the ball away. That's the big problem.
So how would we see this? Give me the player who you think will be in the centre.
Doesn't matter who's in the centre, Mo. He's not going to stay there. They're going to rotate.
What's say? All right, so let's just do it this way. Let's just put Mount there, and then we'll put Ziyech there.
Come on, mate. It's Pulisic. The gap filler.
100%. 100%.
You missing someone? Just put Pulisic
Couch.
there.
He's going to score a hat trick tomorrow. Don't worry about
hope
it.
so.
Your
hope
American
so.
neighbor. Tomorrow you'll be flying this. Is it the Star Spangled Banner?
I'll be singing Captain America the whole way. But I hope so. Like, honestly, he has the talent to do it. But I'm just saying, we haven't seen anything of the sort with him as striker. We just haven't seen anything close to that. And like Brighton actually are pretty good defensively when you think about them. Like, they're one of the better teams defensively. Playing that lineup is just suicide to me. But hey.
Okay, do you guys think the Kovačić Jorginho pairing will start, or do you guys see something else?
I think it's them too.
All right.
Not much options. Whatever else is injured.
Saul in the centre?
Oh, yeah.
No.
Sadly, no. I wish we
I struggled to
could.
put him left wing back, let alone the middle.
Yeah,
All right,
I wish we could rely on him, but I don't think.
I put it in the chat. Apparently, Conte did train today, so
I know. I saw that.
I know he won't play. I know he won't play, but I'm at least Sunday we have an option if he doesn't have a reoccurrence.
Exactly. Alonso left wing back. Yeah, we agree on that.
No, I don't, but I know you guys do.
I honestly think he's going to be rested.
Rest.
No, I think Marcos Alonso, let him give us all he can. January we'll get a new left wing back. So let's use him now. Once we
Until
can.
we do that, he might be gone. If Alonso gets injured, it's going to be a massive issue. That's what.
Oh, Declare. I don't want to think about that, please.
Don't think about it. Just think about Saul there.
If Alonso gets injured, I don't think it's going to be that bad. Like, what would be the worst case?
Couch, come on. Don't speak it into existence.
What do you mean? If he gets injured, no, I'm just saying if he gets injured, it just forces us into the transfer window.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, and then
But let's say it takes us 3 weeks to get someone.
Exactly.
What do we do to them?
That's
And who's going to come and hit the ground running?
Yeah.
Well, somebody that's played in the league before, hopefully.
And we'll need two
I'm
people
holding up for Dean.
if Alonso's out.
Yeah, Emerson or Dean,
All right, who's on the right? James.
Yeah, I had James, but I know I'm with you guys too that he does need a rest as well. I just found it hard to put someone there.
Aspie.
When I had Aspie in the back.
So we're going Aspie and Chalobah, yeah?
I'm not, but, I'll go with the majority.
Okay, so we're going Aspie, Chalobah.
Has there been any news on Chalobah? Because I thought that the reason he was taken off...
It was a tactical substitution.
Injury. It was
a tactical substitution.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I thought it was protective.
In that case, then Thiago's may have been tactical.
No, Thiago's
he's
hamstring.
definitely injured.
Well, he didn't exactly limp off, did he?
He didn't train today either.
You can still walk with a hammy.
You know, when they're getting older, even Kante, as soon as they feel a tweak, they don't move. They're smart. Young people want to run it off. That's what causes more damage. Thiago and Kante and them, Lord, they're smart. They stop. They don't run it off. So which is a smart move?
Yeah.
It's a massive pinch. It hurts. when you run.
All right, guys. So this is the Blue Lounge predicted lineup. You have Mendy in goal, Chalobah, Rudiger, and Chalobah, Rudiger, and Andreas Christensen. Well, I got Christian Andersen. Andreas Christensen in the heart of midfield, heart of defense.
You read those children books again, eh?
All right, we got
Azpilicueta,
Marcos Alonso. Yeah, Azpilicueta, Marcos Alonso as our wing backs with Cover and Jorginho in the heart of midfield, with a versatile attacking lineup with Mount, Ziyech, and Pulisic interchanging up front. Hopefully, we'll be able to secure the goals and finish them chances with these guys up front. Otherwise, we'd have to come in with the alternatives. Hopefully, Lukaku. That is our predicted lineup, guys. How do you guys see the game panning out tomorrow?
If that's the starting lineup, I'm not too optimistic. I'm worried about it, to be honest. Like I said, I think that Brighton team can defend. They can definitely defend, and they're very good in possession as well. So, it's going to be a tough one. I mean, it's going to be a tough one regardless of who we start, to be honest.
It's going to be one of those games where we can't break them down.
You guys, Brighton, they defend on the front foot. They're going to put pressure on our midfield. So the quicker we're on transition, the better it is for us. Tomorrow is going to be the same. You see how Aston Villa was hounding us and also Southampton? That's how they play. Very aggressive. Very, very aggressive team. So we got to be like slowing down play. It will be a bad option if we do it tomorrow.
Okay,
Brighton had their week off, yeah?
They played against Brentford. They won 2-0, I believe. A few days ago. But before that, they had a good chunk of time off. Guys, from what I understand, a couple of the defenders are out as well. Dunk and someone else is unavailable. Correct?
Yeah, I know Dunk was out. I'm not sure who else.
Yeah. So
guess what? Dunk was out, but I think I saw him on the bench. He's coming back from COVID. That's true. I think so. Some of the players, but they were on the bench. The COVID players were on the bench, some of them. So I don't know. They might have them on the squad.
Okay. I want to get your thoughts on the story, lads. Apparently, Christensen has been negotiating with Barcelona over the past few months in regards to a potential contract deal for him at the end of the season. Now, there are two sides to this. The first one is I feel as a Chelsea fan that he's been stringing us along with all this, I want 3 years, I want 4 years, I want while he's actually negotiating elsewhere. First issue. Second issue, I think ethically and legally he's not allowed to be negotiating a contract with another club while he is still under contract with Chelsea up until this transfer window. Now, there can be talks between third parties, but direct with him, it isn't permitted. Therefore, this is something illegal. And again, that pisses me off. I don't know whether or not the story is true or not. Whether what has been reported is accurate, because a lot of these stories do end up being pushed by a certain journalist, by a certain agent, for whatever reason. However, if this story is true, then I'm very disappointed in Christensen. I want to hear your thoughts on this, lads. What do you guys think about this position, this story?
I don't know if it seems a little bit strange that it would be coming out now. I don't know whether we can actually take that as read, Mo. I know the board, in terms of dealings, are a mess. I don't know. I mean, they should have been aware of this earlier and probably dealt with it, either by reporting Barcelona for tapping up or something. But the fact that we've heard nothing about this and it's come out as a sort of tabloid, I don't know who brought this up. I'm not sure it's real, to be honest.
You know who would bring it up, Bobby? His agent.
Well, there you go. Well, why would his agent do that? It's not to his. It's not.
Get more money off Chelsea.
Yeah, but
No,
it's
no,
illegal
Declan.
though.
Excuse me.
It's illegal.
No, Declan, it's not going to be Christensen side. That's not going to happen. I
It
will tell you,
confuses
it's
me.
either-
And Barcelona wouldn't do that because it would put them in
it's too-
trouble. So-
I agree with Bobby definitely here. Let me tell you one thing. It's two people this will benefit. Okay? Either to put pressure on Christensen to buckle up or to put pressure on Chelsea if he's coming from the Barcelona side. But guess what? It's illegal. His representative can communicate with Barcelona, but the player cannot. Okay? So there's a technicality. But for people to say he's spoken to Barcelona, I don't believe that. Players now don't speak to club. They don't even talk to a club. The representative talk to whatever. It's just like Germany and Chelsea, all that whatever. That's how it happened. They don't speak to the club. They don't even participate until.
No, but it's illegal for even his representatives to hold any conversations about contracts until January 1st. Like they can't.
You don't hold.
They can't approach Barcelona.
No, coach. It's not illegal. It's illegal to sign a contract. It's illegal to have an agreement.
I get what you're saying, but you cannot. He's under contract with Chelsea. You can't talk about another contract when you're under contract with Chelsea. The reason why they're allowed to talk in January is because his contract is soon expired. That's when the window opens for that.
Yeah,
But
that's what I want to explain to you. The player.
Yeah, but you can't talk about Chelsea. Yeah, but what difference is the player talking or the agent talking?
That's what I mean. It's a loophole. That's why now to tamper is very hard because clubs have been doing it. Chelsea is doing it. The thing is, it's very hard for you to prove that player has communicated with the club. So that's the thing. Their representative will go to say, okay, let's see what's going on. But they will never say, okay, this and that, and what. They will never have an agreement. The agreement will never be agreed.
They always have intermediaries or whatever, right?
So,
you can always have
that's
an
what I mean.
There's
a loophole.
Friend that. But I don't think it's the agent. Whoever represents the player is representing the player's interests. So you can't have my agent to go speak on my behalf. You know what I mean? Or go it has to be someone that's away from the situation altogether.
So this illegal situation and that can't be happened somehow made it into mainstream media, right? Is this what you guys are saying? Because for me, this happens all the time.
I don't believe it to be true.
Yeah, this is just to get a deal with Chelsea to make this is the agents.
Well, what
someone else made it up.
I don't believe it either. But whatever the reason, this yet again points to the bigger picture. There is something chaotic and disorganized and indecisive about the Chelsea board. And I know where I point my finger to. Now, I'm just looking at Sky and seeing Fernan Torres doing a medical in Barcelona. Everything's smooth. They knew he was going to go. He's going, he's gone. The next thing you see Man City in January make a move, get someone, end of story. We are here courting chaos. We are courting
Bobby, one second. Regarding the whole situation in respect to the January transfer window and Erling Haaland and Man City, can Man City actually start negotiating with Erling Haaland's camp in January because of his release clause?
Yeah, but that rule came in when your contract's only got 6 months left. He's contracted till release clause. So once that release clause is paid, that's when they can negotiate freely.
No,
Yeah, I
you
think
guys are
he still
you
has
guys, you
about
guys are
2
making a
years.
mistake. It's the player. Mino Raiola last summer take a tour of Europe, and Dortmund wasn't happy about it. It's not illegal. I don't think you guys are getting this. It's the player. It's not if they don't sign the contract, they don't do anything like on a paperwork. The player representative can speak to anybody. It doesn't make it illegal. It's like telling somebody, "Oh, when you have a job, you're not supposed to go and speak to somebody." It is illegal
That's not necessarily
when you
true,
talk
though.
about the contract.
You can
Mino Raiola,
get permission. You can get permission from the clubs to talk. You can get permission from the
Dortmund
club.
Dortmund wasn't happy about Raiola. Go and check back. Their management was not happy. The chairman was upset with the way he was. They said any negotiation has to come through them. You understand? But guess what? Raiola wasn't doing anything illegal unless they changed the law. He was not. He was not
Because there
doing
was no
anything
evidence.
illegal.
He was putting on a show, MDT.
Thank you. There was no paperwork.
Well,
Yeah, he was putting on a show, but
I guess what we should be concerned about is we've got Ben Chilwell having surgery, probably not coming back for the rest of the season. We've got no contract signed for Christensen. We've got no contract signed for Rudiger. We need a left back. We probably even need a centre back. So there are 5 situations plus all the other contracts that are brewing in the background and really need to be addressed by the summer. What is going on? We are courting chaos. We are now in a chaotic situation, which, if not immediately addressed, will only get worse. Because now we
Are we
have
getting
the media-
relegated, Bobby? Are we getting relegated?
Get it relegated.
Yeah, based on how you explain it, we're in a chaos and everything is falling down apart. Like we're gonna get relegated if nothing's gonna change.
it's a courting
Yeah,
chaos.
is that Alex? Now you're taking it to another level because you're getting defensive over Marina. Look, Alex, I've just said to someone, I don't care about gender politics. That's not what I'm about.
No,
I'm
yeah,
not
but
about
you seem to
protecting
not
people.
understand how the business works.
I
Because
don't
you keep bringing
understand
it
how
up.
their business works.
That business, particular business.
What business?
Well,
Look,
last
we
year
have
contract,
a
last year
chaotic
contract.
situation that should and can be addressed. January is the last opportunity to bring some sanity into this insanity. And if we don't do it, we will have the media crawling all over us with rubbish stories like we've got about Christensen. And all this will start to permeate into the team and into their performance. So if you want to defend her as much as you like, you can do that. But I don't care about her. I care about Chelsea
That
Football
doesn't have
Club.
nothing to do with her.
That's
I've
my
really
stand
no.
on this.
No,
It has everything to do with her.
Bobby.
I mean, what is this? You guys are just so caught up in the optics of it all. Photo ops, praising people. I don't care about that. Look at how Man City have done business today. Smooth, clean, done, decisive. So
Yeah, I should think they should be investigated for money laundering.
Careful, they're going to get Haaland.
I think you should be investigated for money laundering. That's
What?
exactly how that business just went through. Did you? I was waiting to be introduced by Mo, but sorry, I didn't. It's just Bobby, you always on that specific page of the last
yes.
year contract. No.
Oh, yes, I'm just starting.
No.
Wait till January. If
No.
nothing happens,
It's fine. I mean, you have your opinion, and I respect your opinion. Don't get me wrong. I'm not. It's not personal. I think as many times as we've been talking about this specific case, it seems that you don't understand what's the last year on the contract means as a player versus the board. I think you don't understand that particular part. You think that if a player is happy, that it's it. That's the only thing that is matter at this point. But it doesn't. It's not about only a player. It's about the club. It's about the other consequences. But this particular spot about the last year contract, I don't think you understand. I'm not saying you don't understand it. I really don't want to be rude to you or anything and speak, because English is not my first language, and sometimes I can say some word that's the only word I know in English. You know what I'm saying? If I could explain it in Russian, I would. It's just going to be different kind of problem. For me, I don't think you understand that specific situation.
I know what you're trying to say, and I get it. I get it. We have walked into a situation where the contract power lies with the player. And my annoyance is that issue should never been allowed to arise. Other top clubs don't let themselves get into this situation unless, one, they can afford it, and two, they have a plan B. Now, I haven't seen our plan B. So that's why I'm calling it a chaotic situation. We have postponed addressing it until it's too late. Now our backs are to the wall, and something has to happen in January. And I suspect nothing will. But the sad thing is that everybody's out for Chelsea, and the rumors will start, the unsettling of the team will start, and all because we have a board that did not take a decision earlier. And slightly, to be fair, it's not fully down to Marina. The scouting influence is the problem, and the director of football has dropped the ball with this.
Can I ask you a question, Bobby? What specifically, and if you can give me an example, what specifically did you think that it's down to the last minute? What do you mean by that? And what specific things did you look at it as gonna go down in specific, like in the January?
Okay, I'll give you an example. Our academy lads, before they go on loan, thankfully, we have the good sense to get them signed up on an extended contract. We did that with Conor Gallagher, and I think we've done that with Ethan Ampadu, if I may be
We're
correct.
doing with everybody, whoever doesn't get signed.
Sterling. Now, when players like Rudiger and Christensen were down to, let's say, 2 years of their contracts. Now, we've heard all this about, Lampard didn't want them and the board didn't want to upset Lampard. Okay, fine. But Lampard was fired and we won the Champions League in the summer. Why wasn't this addressed then?
Can I ask you a question? Can I answer you real quick before you go forward? There's a contract for Christensen and Rudiger was on the table at that point. They had the contract extension. They did not sign.
Okay, then you negotiate. We got a negotiator, haven't we? Not everything is going to be dropped in
Hold
your
on a
lap.
second.
You
Hold on
need
a
to
second.
chase it sometimes.
Yeah, but Bobby, the
If he
ultimatum
has
is
the contract,
selling.
he said he wants to move on.
Who said?
Rudiger was for sale. Christensen was for sale that summer. They offered him contract. They did not sign contract. So Chelsea board put him on for sale.
Okay.
If the
Rudiger,
player doesn't
in
sign a
his
contract,
own
they go.
words, said he wanted to leave. Then when Tuchel came, he decided to stay.
Yes.
So the terms of the contract that was offered to him must have been so diminishing that he refused to sign it. My point is this: we win the Champions League. That's when to strike. When the iron is hot. The players are euphoric. Everybody's happy. You come up to Rudiger. I'm trying to simplify a situation here. You come up to Rudiger. Hey, Rudiger, we offered you 140. You said you wanted 200. Okay, will you go for 195? No, I want 200. Right, deal done. Bang.
Just so you know, Bobby, Rudiger shut down negotiations after the Champions League because he was going away to play with Germany. So there was no negotiations happening until he got back from the German camp.
Okay, when he got back, what happened?
He has 1 year left on his contract, and everything is in his hands now.
Right. My understanding, when he got back, he came back to still meet the same contract that was on the table before he left. No improvement, nothing. Come on, guys. Somewhere along the line.
Yes. Why?
Sorry.
Another thing that you mentioned
hold on.
earlier is
Alex.
when people,
Welcome to the stream.
Yeah. Sorry.
Welcome to the stream, Alex.
Sorry, guys, but this is only going to build up,
Bobby,
because until it's sorted.
Yeah, Bobby. Sure. Listen. Where we are today is a position that we found ourselves in because of multiple different reasons, not because of one reason. We're not here. We're not here because of Marina. We're not here because of Rudiger. We're not here because of Christensen. We're not here because of Lampard. We're here because of all of those individuals and decisions and positions and finances and desires and wants and needs. All of these played a role in us being where we are today. Now, is that story in regards to Barcelona true with Christensen? It may be. It may not be. But we are where we are because of a multitude and multiple different scenarios and reasons. I do not believe that Marina has put us in this position because she wants to be in this position. I don't think Marina is doing something negative. I think Marina is trying to address the situation. Maybe she isn't doing it in the way that she should be. Maybe there are factors that are outside of our knowledge, our knowing, our understanding that she is trying to navigate. Regardless, we are in a bad position right now in respect to both Christensen and Rudiger. How we got here, different opinions, different routes, different paths. The destination is the same. We are here with Rudiger and Christensen potentially leaving. Now, there are factors that, if are true, as far as I'm concerned, it's a massive problem, if are true. And we will not know this maybe until it's too late. And one of those factors is that Chelsea are not prepared to pay a set fee for these players or negotiate a set contract length for these players. And if that is the case, and that is why we don't get Christensen and Rudiger to sign, for me, it's a massive problem. Especially when that set fee is not an extortionate amount of money. Because the fee that we have been seen and preview to or privilege to is a fee below 250. Now that is a good fee. That is a good fee for a player who is doing the business for us right now. Now, if it was north of that, and Chelsea decides not to offer him that, I can understand it. If we're not prepared to pay Rudiger 270, 280, 300, I can understand that, and I would stick by that decision. But if we're not paying him 250 or 240 or 200, because right now it seems like 180 would be enough for him to sign, and we're not even offering that. That for me is a problem. Okay, so this is something we need to address and we need to fix. There's no point in putting blame on X, Y, and Z at this point because we still really don't know the full picture. But I agree with you, Bobby, when you say that at the end of the season, if we find ourselves in this predicament and this situation, then we'll need to point fingers. And by then, we would have more facts and more details. And by then, I think everybody will be acknowledging the mistakes of certain individuals if they have made mistakes. And up until now, it is still up in the air in regards to where we are going to be. Because, MDT rightly said a while ago that the situation we're in with these players is not a new situation for Chelsea. Chelsea do take a long time to negotiate contracts, especially when they're big money contracts with players with reputations, with a position within the club, and we saw that with two of the greats, Frank Lampard and John Terry in the past, among others. So Chelsea do take their time getting players to sign. Do take their time, negotiating big contracts within the team. While you're wrongly, it's a frustrating situation to be in, but that's where we are. I think the window coming, the transfer window coming, is one that I need to see Chelsea do some business in.
Exactly.
It's not one. It's not one that I thought we'd be doing business in, because I didn't think we'd have to make any business in or any transactions in January. But with the way the season has panned out, and to be fair, that's why the January window is there, because some clubs, some teams will need to make some adjustments midway through the season, and we are definitely a club that needs to do that midway through this season. So I want to see us do that, and if we don't do that, I'm not going to be very happy.
Well,
lads,
can I
I'm
please just say this? Can I please just?
I will give you the mic in a second. Lads, I'm going to give you the mic each for a couple of minutes to give me your final thoughts on all that we've discussed today before we sign out, and I'll start with Bobby.
No, thank you for giving me this, but I feel almost a need to defend myself, and really I shouldn't feel that way. What my objective is here with this issue is to shatter the illusion. I want us all to really be able to question things without feeling that we are addressing anybody that is particularly protected. When I was a kid and they told me that Santa Claus existed, I believed it. When they told me he didn't exist, I believed it too. Do we still talk about Santa Claus today? Yes, we do, but we know that it's not real. Now, with this issue, we should be free to address the flaws, the pros and cons of what's going on. And there is a potential problem, just as Mo said, which is building up. And this is a big January. Things have to be addressed in this coming January. If not, I believe the fan base are well within their rights to ask questions of certain people. And Marina is not absolved from questioning. She's part of it. You stepped into the arena, you have to take the heat that comes.
All right, fantastic. Lads, before we conclude, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. I mean, we've been streaming for nearly 2 hours and we've only hit 59 likes. So I want to see you guys smash that like button, please. I'm gonna go to Bobby again, because you didn't give me your thoughts on the game tomorrow. So I'll take it from you, and we'll go around the board. So what's your expectations for the game tomorrow, Bobby?
Do you know what? It's really up in the air. I don't know. Well, I just think, look, Brighton have a few defensive issues. They're not 100%, although they're fresher than us. If we, yet again, I know I sound like an old record, but if we play to our strengths, play to our potential, even with the injuries we have, I think we can do this. And I take heart from the fact that first half against Everton, where we really should have blown them away, if we can reproduce that and score instead of miss chances, I think we should all be happy by the end of the day tomorrow.
Fantastic. Alex, what's your thoughts on the game tomorrow, mate? What's your expectations?
I was gonna say thanks, Bobby, for ruining life for me. Now I know Santa doesn't exist. Shit, my.
Does he come to Russia?
No. Listen. To be fair, he exists, but he's isolating this year. He's isolating.
At least I made you smile, Bobby, for a second, so you wouldn't feel bad. It wasn't my intention to make you feel bad at any kind of point in this situation.
No, man.
Anyway, about tomorrow's game.
We've got a debate, and sometimes it gets heated. You're all good. I love you. I mean, we've got to do this. We're brothers here. I've said this so many times, and you have to say what you have to say. And
believe me, if Lukaku doesn't score, I'm going after Marina and I'm going after Boer at the end of the season. Because if 90 million, who do you think I'm going to go after? That's the one I'm going to go after. If I see that the Timberland boots not scoring at the end of the season.
Do you weren't here during the predicted lineup part of the stream?
It really doesn't.
Do you think Lukaku will be playing tomorrow?
No, I don't think he'll start.
Because the reason why I'm asking is because the Aston Villa game, you said you don't think he'll be starting. And you were correct about
I
that.
saw him exhausted at the end of the like he literally ran for 20 minutes. But after he scored that goal, the header, he started to like feel tired a little bit. Then that run that at the end of the game he made, it was pretty brutal. He's a big guy. He burns a lot of calories. Those ankles that he hurt, it's a really big weight on those ankles. If you remember, Tuchel asked him about how much. Tell me the truth. How much you can pull it off? And he said 45 minutes. So that's how I'm going based on it. I don't think he'll start. It wouldn't be surprised if he will start, but it will go for another 30 minutes and stuff like that. I think Kai Havertz is gonna start. I saw you online, but that's the only difference I can tell. I can see the changes. It really doesn't matter as long as we play our game. It really doesn't matter. So I hope. Is it a away game or a home game?
It's a home game.
It's a home game. I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be okay.
All right. Cheers, Alex. I'll go to
See you guys.
Declared. Take care, Alex. Thank you. Cheers.
Alex.
See you.
Declared, what's your expectations for tomorrow's game?
Well, the last few games haven't, even the last game, haven't inspired a lot of confidence. So that's where I'm at. And we know, even with some injuries, we know Brighton are pretty solid defensively. So I'm a little concerned that it's going to be one of those games that we can't break them down. And if Lukaku's not fit, and if we throw in Havertz or that Pulisic false nine again, we could have one of those games where we can't break them down and the game finish 0-0. And that's what I'm worried about. I really want an early goal, and so we can start subbing some of the players that we want extra rest, and that's the way I want it to go. But I am concerned because the previous games haven't inspired me to be confident in this game.
Yeah, it's been a funny month. I'm hoping that 2 wins on the trot. We're building momentum, so hopefully we can continue that momentum. I see Verana is in the chat saying, "Why time me out?" People do not time out Verana unless he said something that he shouldn't have, and I don't think he has done. So please do not time out Verana. Moderators, want to look after Verana. All right, guys. Couch, give me your expectations for tomorrow.
All right. Well, thanks for having me again, brother. Always a good conversation when I'm talking to you guys about football. Whether or not we agree or disagree doesn't really matter to me. I just think that's always a good conversation. We get to the bottom of things. So it's good. I'm going to keep saying this until I see something happen in the window. I am using this January to evaluate how serious this club is about contending this year. It has become evident that Chilwell is not going to be healthy for the rest of the year. We cannot rely on Alonso to play every single match, and we need to look at that position immediately. I don't think that bringing back a loan is an adequate enough cover. I think that we need to start looking towards the future in that position, and if that means bringing in Luka Dean on loan, I think that that's at least an upgrade to what we currently have. Aside from that, as far as the other stuff that we're talking about, we didn't really get to really talk about the Christensen and Rudiger situations. I mean, I'm kind of in between Bobby and Redneck. I understand that what Bobby's saying. He's like, listen, these are key components to our team right now. Why have you gotten to the point where you can't even negotiate with them right now? It just makes really, really dumb sense, especially when you consider yourself to be a master negotiator and whatnot. But at the same time, it takes 2 people to negotiate. If Rudiger, for instance, does not want to negotiate with Chelsea unless it's at a certain level, a certain number, and Chelsea do not want to meet that number, then you're kind of at an impasse. So we can't really necessarily say, well, Marina isn't doing her job if they're not looking to negotiate beyond a certain number. So it's what the club can afford to give and whether or not they deem it necessary to give him more. Aside from that, who knows what happens in the summer? Who knows if we don't just go into the window and buy that Sizzlai guy or whatever, and go real cheap on defenders and just rely on the strength of the system to get us through. Who knows if we're looking for big name center backs now? I don't know. As far as tomorrow's game goes, I'm nervous. I'm not gonna lie. I know it's at home, and after an impressive showing from Lukaku, we should be feeling a little bit more confident about our prospects for tomorrow. But I'm nervous. I think that just because it's catching us at a point where guys are still not match fit, guys are still coming back into the squad, we have reason to be nervous about what the outcome could be. That starting lineup that we came up with, that looks like a 0-0 to me. I'm not going to lie. That looks like a 0-0. But I'm hoping that we are collectively wrong and we see Lukaku start, because I think he needs to build on his form and go on from where he left off in the Villa game. And if he can do that, I think we'll be laughing. But I'm just hoping for a win. I'll be watching and expecting Tuchel to put the team in the best position to win. And if that means starting Lukaku, then that's what you got to do. It doesn't matter about anything else other than that right now. So that's where I'm going to leave it.
Yeah, spot on. I'm actually going to do a watch along tomorrow. I will do a watch along. Actually, hold on. I might do a watch along. Stay posted. Stay tuned. I mean, make sure you're following me on Twitter, because if you're following me on Twitter, you'll get notified like a couple of hours before I actually go live. I will tweet about it. So, but we will be talking about this tomorrow, either during or after the game. MDT, give me your thoughts, mate. MDT.
Yeah. With the contract situation, like I always said, you guys know my stand on this. That's why I have no change. I believe that Marina should do what's best for Chelsea. Rudiger and Christensen should do what's best for them. Nothing wrong with that. That's the business side of it. The fan of me as a Chelsea, I want them to stay. I don't want Chelsea to pay Rudiger 300,000. I don't want that. But if Chelsea think that 200,000 is too much for Rudiger, well, who am I to say is not? If Christensen want to go and experience new things, who am I to stop him from that? He didn't break his contract. He signed a contract. This free market we're talking about. Someone signed a contract, they can see their contract out and go. So I don't have any hard feeling against them, because when a club don't want a player, they get rid of a player like it's not a human being. When a player too want to leave, they should be within their rights to leave if they don't break their contracts. For me, that's how I see it. Because when you're a business person, you should accept it. But to blackmail a player because they want to leave, I don't agree with that, as much as I'm a fan. So for me, they should do for what's best for each other. But one thing though, if you let the players go, make sure that the people that you're replacing with them, you don't pay them more than the players you let go, and it's not costing the club more than what you said you were not going to pay. So those are the things. Make sure that you do that. And also with the Rudiger thing, if you already told somebody you don't want them, you told their brother and father, say, look for a club. Okay, that passed. Then you want to negotiate. They say they're not ready. But you offer when you came to negotiate. You just come and put something down. And then you don't change your stand. It's like take it or leave it. You didn't decide to mend the relationship or do anything. You think, it's a free market. If that was me, I would reject that offer straight up. And that's what happened. Chelsea never changed their stand. They stood where they stood. Well, and they thought they have, because of the passing love for club or teammate or manager, that will play a part. It didn't work. It backfired. I said Chelsea should have sold Rudiger and Christensen in the summer and replaced them. I said that because the reason being is I'm a Chelsea fan first. I knew this will happen. If it continue, Chelsea don't offer them what they want. It continue 2-3 months because they see themselves. They realize that the club is taking the mickey. And they're prideful people. I understand. They didn't break their contract. They didn't do anything wrong to the club. It's not like they're doing anything illegal. So If the club decide that they're not worth the value to them, they can find the values elsewhere. That's normal. Fans shouldn't be mad. You can be mad if you want, or you can be upset. But let's wait and see. If Marina don't replace them with adequate people, then the reaction is it value. And also, when it comes to anything to do with contract, I've been saying this. People think Chelsea have a lot of contracts that are coming up that need renegotiating, but we've been spending a lot of money and paying a lot of players, especially young players that we are buying for big money, huge wages. We're paying them big money, which I don't understand. So now the youth players are coming up. They're looking at these players and say, he's not better than me. He's not contributing more than me in the team. Why are they on more money? Ludwig is not the problem. The problem is Kai, Werner, Pulisic, Cho. Everybody want to have more than them or equal to them. Because if I'm playing better than them, I'm a first teamer, and they're earning that kind of money, it's a problem. This is what I keep going, is the scouting. When you blame the scouting as well, you have to blame the board. Because the board are the boss of people who are in the scout. They get rid of Emenalo, then they replace him with an adequate person. We just had Petr Cech, I think a couple of years. This is the first time. And now Chelsea is working to rectify their mistakes. Let's see whether they have done that, they've learned from that this winter. This is the first chance they have, because there's regret going on in the club right now. People in the club, they accept that mistakes happen, and they're trying to rectify it. But is it too late now? We will find out this summer, or this winter and this summer. So winter has come early for Chelsea board and Chelsea as a club. Are they a corporation first or a football club first? They have to make that decision. So for me, I'll just wait and see. Marina, okay, when we go to Marina, sorry, the one last thing, she's a human being. She will make mistakes. That's normal. I don't expect any deal to go through all the time smoothly. The thing is, you have to limit it. The positive have to be more than the negative. They can't be equal. If that's the case, or one is above the other, that's when people can question your judgment. But for me, as far as I'm concerned, I will see what she does because we are desperate. Now we'll see what she is capable of, because this is the first time she is under pressure.
Sure.
And tomorrow's game, I'm hoping that we win 2-0. That's my hope. But with the lineup, without Lukaku, I'm hoping that if we cannot score, let's just have it 0-0 and then get the subs on and change the game. But I'm hoping 2-0. But Marina, this is the first time I think she is under immense pressure.
Well said, MDT. Well said. I think the whole situation with Marina is it's going to be more visible this year than it ever has been. And I think the fact that Marina got a lot of stick when she first came in for some of the decisions that she made. Then she had a fantastic window under post transfer ban with Frank Lampard bringing in a whole bunch of players, and the last transfer window when she brought in Romelu Lukaku and was also able to sell a lot of players, generating a good amount of money for the club. And a big chunk of those players, the majority of those players were players homegrown, Chelsea grown, Cobham lads. So it showed that Chelsea were able to sustain themselves financially quite well. And Marina got a lot of credit for that. Now things are looking different because Marina is in a position where she has to address a developing situation within the club. These are things that you didn't plan for in regards to some of the injuries and some of the replacements that we need to bring in this window. Also, in regards to Rudiger and Christensen, this is something that has been neglected to a certain degree, mishandled to a certain degree over the past couple of years, and now it's coming to the boil, and she has to deal with that, and she has to address that, and she will be judged at the end of the season in regards to all of these situations, whether they panned out well or they didn't. So it's gonna be an interesting one. I personally want to see Marina Granovkaia succeed. And I'm sure everybody on this panel here wants to see Marina Granovkaia succeed. Because if Marina Granovkaia succeeds, Chelsea succeeds. If she fails, then Chelsea will be failing. And we don't want to see her fail. Nobody here wants to see her fail. I would love to be streaming towards the end of the season and, having nothing but praises for Marina. Because if we get to that point and we're able to speak in that way, that means we've had a fantastic end to the season. And that is all that we want. Nobody here is anti-Marina. On the contrary, we are all here pro Chelsea and all the the representatives of Chelsea. So I just wanted to make that clear, to everybody listening. If we talk about an individual, we are not talking about them from a personal standpoint, or we are not talking about them from a professional standpoint in respect that we want to see them fail. No, we don't. We want to see them succeed. And if there's anyone here that wants to see Marina Granovkaia succeed, it's Bobby. Because he knows how much influence and power she has and how much good she can do with that influence and power that she has. So, guys, before we conclude, I want to say thank you to everyone who has been watching the stream. We've had 64 likes. We've had a couple of thousand people watching the stream, but only 64 likes. Somewhat disappointed. If you haven't hit that like button, make sure you do before you leave. I know a lot of you are now switching off and going to watch the Liverpool-Leicester game. Hopefully Leicester can bring some respect back on their name and get a result against Liverpool. If not, we'll sort them out on Sunday, hopefully. Lads, have a good evening, and I will see you all tomorrow. Take care of yourselves. Peace.